Now, this is an interesting one. One of the main fears that people have is the fear of being afraid, or the fear of being nervous, or uncomfortable, or stressed, or you get the point. There's an idea among a lot of people out there that in order to do something well, we have to feel comfortable, confident, and relaxed when we do it. But that isn't quite true. In fact, as I mentioned in my course on confidence and communication, one of the main characteristics of confident people is that they accept and embrace those feelings, that they expect those feelings to arise, and that they simply choose to do what they were going to do, despite them. Top performers in basically any field will tell you that if they're not feeling a little tension, if they're not feeling a little nervous or stressed before performing, they're likely to perform worse. These emotions and more falling into the category of arousal in psychological terms. And in psychology, there's something called the Yerkes-Dodson law, which says that elevated arousal levels can improve performance up to a certain point. Put in simpler terms, if you're a little nervous or stressed when you do something, you'll tend to do it better than if you're completely relaxed. But if you get very nervous or stressed, you'll do worse. A simple graphical representation of this phenomenon looks like this. And here's another cool thing. Remember how I talked about the comfort growth and panic zone? Well, we can combine that model with this one to get a very interesting result. When you're in your growth zone, you will perform better than when you're in your comfort zone. And once you cross into the panic zone, your performance eventually drops to zero. To perform at your very best, you want to be as close to the center of the curve as possible, in the middle of your growth zone. And if that's hard for you to do, then you want to stay to the left of it, between the top of the curve and your comfort zone, to both increase your performance and reduce how uncomfortable you are. If that looked confusing, don't worry. All this means is that, for now, what's important to know is that it is not your goal to not feel a little stressed, nervous, or anxious. Your goal is to become comfortable feeling those emotions at acceptable levels. In other words, to become comfortable being slightly uncomfortable while you're in your growth zone. Because once you are, everything will start to change. When we don't fear fear itself, it loses power over us. It will no longer be able to stop us from what we know we should do, and we can focus our mental resources on things that are important, the things that we're trying to achieve. Now, do you remember that exercise that I gave you in the comfort zone video? To think of something that you can challenge yourself with? Something that would be in your growth zone that you can do today or tomorrow. Do that exercise again and again, and each time the challenge you give yourself becomes easy. Change it so that your stress levels rise again. The more often you do this, the more used you'll get to feeling those feelings of nerves and stress. And the moment your mind stops trying to avoid them, the moment you accept them and know that you'll be able to do what you're supposed to do, regardless of those emotions, well then you've instantly expanded your comfort zone dramatically and improved your general performance levels.